Hi. Cheers. It's a good shot. Go. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install new plate lights. I have been taking my plate lights in and out a lot because I've been running cheap LEDs and they keep burning out, but I finally got some Morimoto plate lights, so I'm gonna be installing those. I already have one installed. They look sick, and they're actually only like $37 for two of them. I know a lot of people think Morimoto, it's a really, really nice lighting company. They make really good products. You'd think it would be like heinously expensive, but it's like, I honestly think it's cheaper than the housings for the Motorcraft stuff. So get Morimoto, don't buy the Motorcraft ones, don't buy the cheap Chinese ones on Amazon. These are what you want. So I already have one of these lights installed on this side, and we're gonna be doing this side now. You'll notice there's a lot of gouges on my plastic bumper. There was a time this winter when one of my plate lights went out, and here in St. Louis it was like -10, and I was in the AutoZone parking lot and got very angry and proceeded to stab my bumper with the screwdriver out of anger because my hands were freezing. So they are a little bit of a pain to get out depending on which ones you've had or how many times you've taken out, because there's a bunch of clips, 2 on the side, 2 on the top. So I kind of try to like pry a corner out and then get it with my hands, or you can go in from the side here and try to push in one of these side tabs, and then that will make it pop out. Oh, all right, so yeah, these are just a pain to get out. I guess, like, you could also pull up on the bottom and then these should come out. Like, as you can see, I've done this quite a few times, and every once in a while I forget how to do it and just end up like jabbing it with a screwdriver. But I think pulling up on the bottom is probably best, and then trying to push in these tabs with a screwdriver. Oliver, who's filming right now, suggested reaching around behind the bumper and somehow pushing these in, which I think would be a lot easier and easier on the plastic, but I'm not quite sure how to do that, or how to like fit your hand in there. I have big hands, so I just use the caveman method and jab at it with a screwdriver. You have it out, you'll see you have the actual wiring attached to this little black chunk here that's attached to this bigger piece of plastic. You can turn this to the left, just like a quarter turn, and pull out, and you'll see that's the housing. We're gonna set that over there because I'm not reusing it. This is the LEDs. They're last fits, and I do have a video on my channel on the headlight bulbs I use. Bulbs in my truck, and I converted to LEDs. They're true LEDs. They're like 12,000 lumens, 3,000 each bulb, and there's 4 of them. They run really well. I've had them for 3 years. The plate lights that Last Fit makes are terrible, and they keep burning out. So I would definitely recommend the headlights in that other video I did, but the plate lights are a no-go. Do not run them. And I'm not sponsored by Last Fit, so I'm gonna say what I want about them. I'm also not sponsored by Morimoto, but so far, these Morimoto lights are a lot better. Again, these, so I actually, because I cracked one of my OEM, these are the OEM housings. These are the Morimotos. The Morimotos have LEDs in them, and the plug that you put into the stock bulb place, and they cost the same, but these have lights in them, these don't. So if you're going to replace these, just buy the Morimoto ones, because these little housings are like, they don't even have lights in them. You still have to get the lights and clamp them in and do all that. So, you know, I would just buy these. $37 for both the Morimoto housings and the LEDs inside. And so then what you do is stick this, doesn't matter which way you put it in. It's a little snug, so you just need to give it a nice little push, and it should seat right down in there. And then you're gonna match up these slots with the notches on the side of this housing here. So, and it is, this cord does go inside, but you have to kind of give it a little bit of coaxing for sure. All right, now that it's in, then we're gonna turn it the other way. All right, now it's in, and it is really snug. So you have to kind of like push and twist, and you can see like it's pinching that rubber gasket like really tight onto here, which is good. It'll get a good weather seal, but like you really kind of have to reef on it to get it to set. Now we're kind of back where we started. You're going to take this and just push it in, and you want the clamps on the sides to kind of seat in there, and you should hear a pretty satisfying click once you get it in. And there you go.
How are you? How are you? Would you like the rubber glove stretchies?
All right, so that's the install. Obviously, getting the actual housing out is probably like the hardest part and can be kind of annoying, but definitely would recommend a screwdriver. But these Morimoto lights are sick. I mean, some people could argue, like, why would you want people to see your plate really bright? I don't really ever want to get stopped for some stupid reason for someone not being able to see my light because I'm commercial, and I don't really want to have to keep coming down to change plate lights. So by changing to LEDs, you can just basically forget about having to worry about ever losing a plate light and then getting stopped by a cop because they're like, hey, your plate light's out. Although I feel like half the time they probably make that up. But anyway, these plate lights are sick. They look really clean. They'll probably last a long time. I like Morimoto, and they weren't that expensive, 37 bucks for the two. So get yourself a pair. Cheers.